Good evening and welcome to a new edition of the Betting Connection podcast. My name's Chris. I'm here as always with my co-host Rob. Rob, international break is over. There's not another one until March. I am doing my happy dance. We've got a real block of excellent domestic football coming up, Christmas festivities all coming up. How are you feeling?
Yes, perfect news. Great news. Great news. I heard that it was about 20 matches in game weeks for the FPL. So yeah, definitely excited. Now we don't have any international break. You must be ecstatic as you
20. Is that what it is? 20 Premier League matches until the next break.
don't put me down
Wow.
on it. Don't
No, no, it could be. It could be because it is kind of getting towards the end of the season, the next break. Either way, it doesn't matter. Let's rejoice. We've definitely got December, January, February, March. It could be that's 4 months, man. We've gone through what have we got? 3 months of the season. We've had three international breaks. We now go longer than that without a single one. So yes, great
happy
news. Off
days.
season. Woo, can't wait. Can't wait. However, Bob, I have to say, international break again, but we had an absolute blinder last week on our podcast.
Woo!
We had another blinder, plus 6.46 units officially. Another big gun Acca wins, and it was another big gun Acca. You keep delivering, Rob. You keep saying you're feeling the pressure, but I don't see any pressure.
I still feel the pressure for this week.
Every week feels the pressure. You can't. You can go several weeks without a winner without even feeling the remote is bit of guilt. It's ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. You pulled out six plus sixes plus eights in the last couple of weeks. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. We also had you also had several picks internationally as well that you got, especially your bet of the week, Greece away
Yeah, that one
2.4.
stood out.
You
I
like that one,
saw
yeah?
Yeah, I saw the line changing. I saw it just before kickoff. It went down to 1.8. So you could see again the advantage of jumping on early. And 2.4 is an amazing price. 1.8 was still a fair price. But yeah, it turned out that was actually my bet of the week. Yeah, that was also my standout, as we talked about before. What was your standout for the weekend?
Standout again, not so much from the pod, but my standout of the weekend was NFL again. We had quite a few winners. I called a couple of picks on here. I think last week I did three value picks. Two of those came in, and then did more on the socials as well. So, and again, that led into Monday night where I had two out of two. So, feeling really good with the NFL at the moment. Generally, it was a really good weekend. The lower league football's a bit hit and miss at the moment. I had Port Vale, the other one was a loss. You had Ireland, which was a good win earlier on in the week, and then Sweden as well. Yeah, quite a few. And like I say, nearly 6.5 units up, backing up another week. The previous week we were up, so good times really. And even in a week that we weren't excited about, we still picked out some winners. We also mentioned last week the boxing that was on the Tyson Paul fight. Did you get up and watch it?
Yes,
You did?
I was awake, but I had the trouble with the Netflix streaming, so it was a little bit a bummer. But I watched it a little bit later, so I went to bed when it was actually live, and a couple hours later, I watched it without watching my telephone first, what the result was going to be. I think that I need to make more out of those matches, those boxing matches, because if you think about it, in the end, like they now talking about that there was maybe the setup that Paul was not allowed to knock out Tyson. So it
Mm,
was quite obvious to go on the overs if you look at the rounds. And
yeah,
so, like, it's a very American sporting event that could be out of like a movie. And I think those things are staged. So next time when this kind of event's gonna happen, I'm gonna think about it beforehand and I'm gonna act on it because I think it was quite reasonable result how it worked out. What do you think about the match?
What did I think was that it looked like a young, half decent boxer fighting against a 58-year-old. That's what it looked like, and that's what it was. So, yeah, it's like I say, it is exactly what it was. Really, it was a gimmick fight. Like I said in last week's pod, he's not a bad fighter.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
they said as
YouTuber.
well, I think they pointed out what I didn't didn't look at it, but in one of the first earlier rounds, Mike Tyson does this specific move that he already knows what Paul's gonna do, and then he has this free shot, but he just backs down. And they were
Really.
talking about it like, yeah, he's not allowed to hit Paul knockout. Like,
Yeah, I felt like there was definitely not the follow-up combinations. They both caught each other quite a few times, especially earlier on. I mean, as it wore on, you could see Tyson was absolutely knackered. You know, he's an
yeah,
old man.
that's
He
true.
stopped throwing. He stopped throwing punches. Simple as that.
That
Earlier on, it was fairly decent in terms of some of the punches that were caught, but they didn't follow it. They didn't follow it up with combinations, and it definitely looked like that. It would be a bad look for Jake Paul to knock out a 58-year-old. Like Tyson's, like he's a legend in the game, and it would be a bad look. So he got
exactly.
what he wanted out of it. He came out with a lot of credit. He is a credible fighter. I said it last week. He's decent. Anyone that thinks he's just a YouTuber trying it, he's been training for years now,
I
boxing.
wouldn't want
So
to fight him.
no, definitely not. Definitely not. He's ripped, like absolutely ripped, and you just wouldn't want to. So he is decent. He's not top level. If he fought a top level boxer, he'd be made look an idiot. But he's good at this level against old timers, MMA fighters that want to come and cross over, things like that, and the kind of lower level, mid level maybe boxers. Yeah, all good for him. I mean, he's faking it in. You can't knock the guy. I mean, like he knows what he's doing to make money, right? Incredible.
And you know, like the last thing I want to talk about this match is that in Holland it has like a specific angle, like because the girlfriend of Paul is the Dutch speed skater. So
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, it was really that's always like a fun angle that comes to play. And when you watch TV, it's all about a little bit about her as well, and then also about this Paul guy. So I think more and more people know who this Paul guy is.
Yeah. I mean, him and his brother, they're knocking it out of the park, to be fair. Like they started from nothing and they're absolutely minted, multi-millionaires. So fair play to them. But yeah, the fight was a bit of a wet blanket. I think if you paid good money to go there, you would have been disappointed, to be fair. But anyway,
Enough of it. Enough of the
enough of that.
politics.
Let's move on to the real stuff. The
To the
soccer,
green
European,
grass. The green grass.
Europe. Yes, the green grass of European soccer, the thing that we love the most. We like to start in the UK generally. Premier League is obviously the main billing. I don't have any specific picks in terms of winners in the Premier League this weekend. We're going to talk about the Man City Spurs game in our quickfire round later. Before I do pick on one angle that I've got for the Premier League, do you have anything for Premier League? Is there anything you'd like to say before I give my pick?
Uh, I have a lean towards Aston Villa. It's a little bit a feeling that I have that they're gonna have to have a good performance at home against not in form, out of form Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And one for 1.6. And I have one pick that I have in the Big Gun Acca. So you have to listen to it a little bit later. But
Okay.
for the rest, nothing stands out.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a lean as well. It's Fulham at home to Wolves. I do feel like Wolves are turning a corner, and I think we've mentioned in previous pods that they've had a hell of a difficult start on paper. So they were always going to get a bit better. I am leaning towards Fulham. I just didn't like the price. I think it was around 160, 165 when I looked at it when I was doing my research. just a bit too short to really like it. I think if Fulham were like 1.8 or better, I really would have probably gone hard on Fulham win. But while I was doing my research, I did come across what I thought was a standout kind of pattern with goals in both of these teams' fixtures so far this season. So I feel like there's a play there. Um, I was looking at Wolves have had over 2.5 goals in 7 of their last 8 matches. It's quite a lot. And their Fulham are also over this line in their last 3 matches, and 4 out of 5 home games they've played this season have all had over 2.5 goals. They've also proven that both teams can score a lot, like in their games. In Fulham's home games, 100% of the matches have both teams to score, and 4 out of 5 Wolves away games have both teams to score. Interestingly, you can get both ways, either over 2.5 or both teams to score. They're both around the same, 1.70. I saw them slip to about 1.67, but they're both the same. And that made it interesting and confusing at the same time, Rob. When you see that, when you see like over 2.5 and both teams to score around the same price, do you prefer one or the other? Like, because both teams to score, you're protected if it's only a 1-1 draw. But then if someone does go on and smash the other team like 3-0 or something, then obviously over 2.5 to play. So is there something that you prefer out of the two options?
Wow, indeed, that's a tough question. I think I'm gonna lean towards over 2.5 goals when I have to pick something like that. Because for the same reason, mostly when I look at the goals market, I look at a team that's quite creative and free flowing, or likes to play a little bit more up the field. And if they do that, then I think, or it can be a blowout either way, or it could be like a goal fest. So
Hmm.
I'd actually like the over 2.5 when it comes to that.
Yeah, that's kind of my thinking. I've been burnt quite a lot on both teams to score. I remember vividly losing many bets over the years when I've got both teams to score, and there is a 3-0 or 4-0, and I'm just sitting there thinking, bloody hell, over. And sometimes you get better odds for it, and I'm like, oh, I missed out there. So on this one, I am going over 2.5. I have found it at 1.70. There's a lot of statistics there that I've mentioned that could indicate goals in this game. Fulham they're pretty direct and attacking at home. They're a good home team. That's why I kind of lean towards the win as well. I just don't like the odds. Wolves playing a lot better. They've been in a bit better form. So I think this is probably a good play. Let's go for some goals.
Yeah, this definitely could be. The way I look at Fulham is a team that really likes to attack. They have quite good players up front at the moment. Smith Rowe is in a good shape. Jimenez looks back. He's actually playing against his whole team. I'm thinking about it right now. So there must be some kind of sentiment or emotions as well for Jimenez if he.
Traore as well, no?
Oh, yeah, Traore as well. That's true. That's true.
Priori as well. So there's going to be some extra motivation on both sides.
Exactly. Good match.
So interesting match. I like Fulham. I've got a soft spot for Fulham, I have to say, and they have taken on quite a few Arsenal players recently. But I've always had one of my best friends back at home is a Fulham fan, and I've always had a soft spot for them. But I like them, and they're a
Which
good play generally at home.
I have a question for you. Quick
Yeah,
question. Which is the most famous Dutch player that played for Fulham?
Van der Sar.
Yes. 10 points, 10 points, Chris.
Wow, I was quick as well. I didn't even have to think
That
about it.
was very quick. That was very quick. Yeah, for us, that's a little bit of a standout story. Yeah, that was really good thing to see. I love that.
Yeah, so let's say it should be a good game. Like I said, hopefully for goals, and that is a pick. So Premier League wise, that's it for me, and I'm going to avoid lower leagues. I didn't even look at it, Rob. I'm not going to lie, I didn't even look and research lower divisions in England this week. I found quite a few plays in the top leagues in Europe this weekend. So I had a few, and I got to the point where no, I don't need to. I feel like it's been quite random lately as well, a bit hit and miss. I haven't had the best value picks the last couple of pods, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a miss. I like some more in the other European leagues, but there is one more in the UK. It does come in the Scottish Premiership. It is anybody that listens to this pod knows it. Aberdeen, Aberdeen again. Have you looked at this match? Are the bookies crazy? What's going on? St Mirren versus Aberdeen. Aberdeen are 2.30. Why? Do you have any idea?
I think the reason must be that Mirren has done okay in their last three matches. If you look at them, they didn't lose any of their last three matches. They won two of those matches. But besides that, I could only think the bookies are still holding that 6-0 loss of Aberdeen against Celtic against them, because otherwise I can't understand the price either. I think
I don't understand.
it's definitely value on Aberdeen again. And yeah, I'm picking them as well as a win. Um, I also like the Aberdeen or draw if you want to be you want to be very sure about your bet and to want to.
I can't believe you just said that, and something will come clearer later when I do the student ACCA. But I'll save that for later. But remember, you just said that about the Aberdeen and draw as well, because that's interesting that you said that.
Okay.
This, so I'm glad it's a pick of yours. We both like Aberdeen. We've both made money from Aberdeen this year. For anybody that has been on Mars for the whole of the season, Aberdeen have won every single match this year except for one, which was away at Celtic. So they're still unbeaten. They are joint top of the league with Celtic, with that game being the only game that they both dropped. And St Mirren, I can't find the reason. Like you say, okay, they haven't lost in three. They've had 6 home games this season. They've won 3 of the 6, but those 3 wins currently are teams that occupy the bottom 3 places of the league. The other 2 matches were, well, no, they drew a couple as well, but the losses they had at home with Dundee United, who are mid-table, and they have played Celtic at home and they lost 3-0 convincingly. So, if we're putting Aberdeen in the same bracket as Celtic or close to at the moment, then it should be an away win. 2.30, I'm going to be finding out anyway.
I'm glad that you gave me some stats to back my choice up, and that it was not a pure emotional bet. And I'm looking at it, and yeah, you're right. And they got 6 points. If you didn't get those 6 points against those lower league teams, they were also in the bottom half. So
Exactly.
yeah, they're not. Yeah, I really like Aberdeen as a win.
Yeah, like I went into the research expecting to find something that put me off. Like I said in previous pods, there was one time I didn't back Aberdeen because I just saw enough. I think in Dundee United, I think I can't remember who it was, but I saw enough in it just to say, oh, actually, I don't like it. I don't see it here. I just don't. And like, I know that it's going to just one day, it's just going to be, oh, Aberdeen finally lose a match they should have won. And it could be this. But at 2.33, you've just got to keep backing them. You'd be mad not to. Like, what we have this conversation every week, and every week they still deliver.
Exactly. Let's
So,
go
so yeah,
Aberdeen.
that's a double pick. That's a double pick. So we are moving with Aberdeen, of course, and that's the end of the UK value picks. We will have more on that later with some of the other rounds and ACCAs and things. Holland moving on to the Netherlands. You've been on a roll with the second division. What's happening this week? Is it all on Friday night again?
Most of the matches are on Friday night, so it's full. I think they are playing like 10 matches on Friday night. It's a full
Okay.
schedule. I have to check it. Yeah, I think it's a full schedule. Everyone's playing. So nice Friday night. I love those nights because sometimes I go and watch some games of them, like real in live in the stadium. As you might have already heard when you're listening to the podcast, that I support a second league team. But if I don't, I watch it with the on TV, and it goes really fast. I don't know how you call it in English right now, but it jumps from left to right, goals left, center, everywhere. How's it called in English?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
like fast pace, you mean?
No, it's like the NFL as well. You have like multiple games on, and then they go from one game to
Oh, like the carousel.
yeah,
Carousel.
carousel.
Ah, sorry, right. So they put that on for the second division, yeah?
Yeah, and there's actually like a commentator that he knows a lot about that league, and it's like a specific league. There's not some strange teams, some youth teams, and some bigger teams with bigger stadiums and bigger fans that want to go back to the Eredivisie, and it's getting a tougher and tougher. Like it's a good competition actually, and it you can always come back in it, and you can always reach the playoffs and get promotion. But I found some picks that I like, so I'm gonna talk about the picks.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, I like FC Volendam. They're playing away from home against young PSV, and PSV is at the moment 15th in the league. They've lost five of the last six matches, and if you look at Volendam, it's actually the opposite. They won five of their last six matches, with drawing just one. And they're climbing up the table. And they were in the Eredivisie last season, and they're really trying to. They're just 3 points away from the top, and you can bet that back them at 1.6.
1.6.
That's the first one. If I look, I'm looking at another match. Again, a young team, but this time it's young FC Utrecht, who are actually last in the table. They're playing at home against Roda JC. That was a team that was very, very, very close to promotion. Last season, they were even that close to promotion that, like, the stadium speaker already said, "Okay, Rhoda, we've got the promotion." And like all the fans started celebrating on the field. And then it turned out like the other match hasn't finished. And then they scored like
Oh,
a last second equalizer, and they didn't promote it.
oh no.
And then they lost in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, that's it. So that's the story
Oh,
about Roda. They haven't started the season that great this year, but they seem to be turning a table, and you can back them at even odds. So they're playing against last of the table, and it's a team that was very, very close to promotion last season. And I think they just had to like get get their thing together at the beginning of this season, but they seem to have turned the page, and I'm backing them at even odds away from home. Roda, you see?
yeah, that's yeah. Young FC Utrecht, the bottom of the league, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, that's interesting. Odds, isn't it? Even money.
Even money, even money. So that are actually the picks that I like in the second division. And then I have,
Okay, and you've got a couple of doubles for us this weekend, I believe, and you've got one of those doubles in Netherlands, but that's back in the top division, yeah?
yeah, that's back in the top division again. I'm looking at those odds of all the matches that I really like, and sometimes they're getting shorter and shorter. Definitely during the longer the season goes on, the value is harder and harder to find as a single. So I actually found a couple of doubles and in Holland it's uh, Feyenoord winning against SC Heerenveen, and it's go ahead Eagles. They are playing against Almere City, and you can double them for 2.1. And then it's two teams at home that in a match that they are clear favorites, and they should get the win.
Okay, so Feyenoord and go ahead Eagles double to
That's
back
the
up your second
Dutch
division.
double.
So some nice juicy Dutch picks there. Like them. Let's go. Is that everything before I move on to Espana?
Yeah, that's everything about Holland.
About
Let's move on.
Netherlands.
Vamos
Let's
a la
move on.
España.
Vamos. Exactly. Vamos a España. And I'm going to start with Girona. Girona versus Espanyol. I don't know if this is a game that you have looked at or not, but I'm laying Espanyol probably more than back in Girona, so to speak. Espanyol are in terrible, terrible, terrible form. They've lost six of their last seven. Espanyol. They've lost five out of the six away matches they've played this season. It is true that five of those six away matches were to teams in the top half. So they have been playing kind of teams in the top half away from home. However, the one game that was against lower league or lower in the division, they also lost that match as well. So they did get a draw away at Atletico, I think it was. But other than that, they lost every away match. And look, Girona are a top half team. They're not doing as fantastic as last season, but they're still decent. And although they've been a bit of a mixed bag this season, they have still taken some decent scalps at home. They've beaten Osasuna, who we know have been in great form. Athletic Bilbao, they've beaten as well. So, both of those teams are much better quality than Espanyol. So, yeah, I fancy Girona to win this match at home. At 1.7, I found that a pretty decent value. So, yeah, I'm backing them.
Okay, I like the pick. Girona is maybe a little bit similar to Roda JC in the way that they both maybe have turned the page and trying to get like a successful season going, and it could be great at home. I like the price.
Yeah, I like the price as well. You've got to back it. And like I say, Espanyol are not playing good. So look, hopefully that's a home win. Another pick that I know you like, I like. It let us down in a big way the week before the international break, but it is that team Barcelona. Are you laying an official pick on Barcelona here?
Yes, I think for that price you have to. It was a slip up against Sociedad, but maybe they're a little bit more rested, even though a lot of the players are playing internationally as well. But I think they need to as well. And for 1.7 against Celta de Vigo away from home, I actually like the price. What do you think about the
Yeah,
match? Did
I
you
well,
find any
firstly, I
stats?
agree. I think the first I'm going to give you something that will give you more confidence. But before I do, it doesn't really matter because if you can find Barcelona top of the La Liga at 1.7, I don't care who they're playing, where they're playing it, you're betting it. It's that simple.
Definitely
It's
when
that
they only
simple.
dropped 6 points so far this season and they have a goal
It's that
difference
simple.
plus
Yeah,
28.
yeah. They've lost twice away. Yeah, they've hurt us in those two losses, but they've also been good to us. They've won a lot of good games this season for us and made up Accas and whatnot. So look, Barcelona have been a top team. They have lost twice this season away. However, Celta, they're not bad this season, Celta Vigo, okay? And if you look at the points that they've accumulated at home, they're actually one of the better performing home teams this season. But they've won they've won four matches at home, and that looks a lot, but they are actually teams occupying the bottom six places right now. So I think that's something I always look at. It's all good and well saying, oh, they've got this many points and this, but I always look at, look, what's the quality they're playing? So their four wins are against teams in the bottom six. So look, that's not Barcelona, is it? And I just think that, Barcelona, after losing one, you normally get a better performance the next time. Yeah, you got to take the price. You got to take the price.
Okay.
Moving on. I
Yeah.
think we're both in agreement on that, right? It's a nice play, and I'm hoping lightning doesn't strike twice away for Barcelona in back-to-back games.
Okay. It doesn't.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on here. This is more of a personal pick rather than a statistical or research or anything like that. But Valencia are back playing this weekend against Real Betis. Obviously, it's been an absolute tragedy in Spain, in Valencia with the floods. I live in Valencia, just for those. I think I've mentioned it in the past in pods, but I live in Valencia. I've experienced everything here. Absolutely shocking what's been happening. This is going to be raw emotion. This is going to be huge. I just sometimes we can sit here and research all we like, Rob, and say this and that, this form, this team beat this team. Sometimes it comes down to more than that, and it's about the motivation and the 100 and well, I think I say 100% or 110. I think there's 200% is going to come from these Valencia players to be put into this match, to put on a performance in front of fans that are all going to come together. It's going to be a very bittersweet atmosphere. Real Betis are the team that are going to come into town. Valencia 3.1, Rob. I don't know what you think of Valencia this season, but that's a big price.
Yeah, it is a really big price. Maybe definitely in times of these, betting doesn't seem that important. Definitely when you see the scenes that are happening to those people. So with all respect,
Mm.
to those events, I actually like it a lot as a price, and I like the reasoning from you as well, this kind of motivation, this kind of spirit from the fans as well during those matches. It's gonna be an unbelievable, and they must be pushing the team forward and giving them so much more adrenaline than normal. So and like yeah, I think it's a really big prize.
I do, and just to put a little bit more substance to it, other than just raw emotion, Valencia, they're not been, they're better than bottom of the league. I watch Valencia, I follow them a little bit. They're better than bottom of the league. Apart from the game, they lost at home to Las Palmas. Apart from that game, and to be honest, Las Palmas is actually in good form recently. So, yes, league position wise, it's a bad loss for Valencia, but Las Palmas were actually in a good run at the time. They've actually played decent teams at home generally, Valencia. They played Girona. They won that match. They've drawn to Osasuna and Villarreal, who are both currently in the top five. And yes, they lost to Barcelona. But that's their matches, you know. It's not like it's not they haven't like lost loads of bad matches at home to terrible teams. It's not. They've got good results against good teams, and okay, a loss here to the best team in the league, and one other game. So yeah, like I don't. Real Betis are not ripping up the league or anything. They're a better home team as well, Real Betis, than they are away. So yeah, with everything else, factoring in, I'll be playing this at more than three.
Okay, backing.
And it's a single. I wouldn't like I say, when it's more like a gut feel like that, I'll probably pay like a three-quarters of a unit, maybe more than one. But I might be tempted on the day to go full on, but definitely just a single. And yeah, just hope it works out for them, man. The city's been through a lot. I really, really hope they can pull it out.
Okay, let's root for Valencia this weekend.
And you're going to finish Spain with a Spanish double, I believe, Rob. You got another one of those doubles for us this time in Spain.
Yes, not the Dutch special, but now it's the Madrid special. I actually like both Madrid teams, Real Madrid to win away from home from against Leganes for 1.47 and Atletico Madrid to beat Deportivo Alaves for 1.37, and you can combine the both exactly at even odds. And yeah, I actually like it. I think maybe Real Madrid as well. They had a little time. They had this convincing victory. The last game they played against Osasuna, 4-0 win. So I think only 3 points behind Barcelona. They want to get a win. And Atletico as well. I thought they were quite bad in the Champions League in the beginning, but they won against Paris Saint-Germain, I think, last time. Let me watch that. Yeah, I think I've written that down. Yeah, they've beaten Paris Saint-Germain away from home, and the last four matches that they played, they all won. So I think I'm backing Atletico to win at home. Even odds.
Yeah, I like it. Real kind of on my naughty list, to be honest. But I do agree. I think there's a potential turn in the tide a little bit. And I think this is a big weekend because if Barcelona do drop points and Real Madrid win, I mean, we spoke about it on the last pod, didn't we? About how closer it is than we thought because it does feel like Barcelona are running away with it, and it's not quite the case. So yeah, interesting week. I think they will both win as well. So I do like it. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to Italy, Rob. In the last pod, I think we discussed about surprise teams, anyone that, you kind of had your eye on as a runner. You mentioned Fiorentina as one in that kind of chat that we had. They're playing this weekend, Rob. Their price stood out massively for me. Did you catch that?
Yes, I catched it as well. I jumped on it because I was looking to the picks as well during the international break. I didn't have much to do, so I was looking at those prices, and I saw two over two and 2.3 or something. I saw a 2.4, and I think it's a large price for a team that's really good in form, playing against. Are they bottom of the league? No, not
Not
Como. No, their
sure.
form is bottom of the league. So
Their
the
form is bottom
form
of the
of
league.
Como is bottom of the league and Fiorentina is second. If I look at my form table, so for over evens, I really like it.
Yeah, I've got a 2.37. You always get slightly better odds than me. What have you got it at?
2.4.
2.4. Okay, close enough. But yeah, you're looking at the in-form team against the out-of-form team in this match. Fiorentina have won 7 of their last 8, and it was a draw in the other one, so they're unbeaten in that time. Como haven't won a match in 6. They lost 4 of them. So yeah, that explains the complete different trajectories of form. But Como, like, they're a hard team to judge their home form because they've only played 4 times at home. Was there something? I'm. This is a guess, actually. I don't know this, but do you know if it was something to do with their stadium had to have some work at the beginning of the season to be in Seria A? Because they started off the season playing all away matches. Do you know anything about that? Or
No, the only thing I know about Como is the Como Lake, and that's
yeah,
it. The George
and
Clooney
says
lives
Fabregas.
there.
The lake and George Clooney says Fabregas. That's what I know, but none
Italian
of that
job.
helps. Yeah, none of that helps winning me money. But yeah, yeah, they've only played 4 times. I remember at the start of the season they just played all their away matches. So I just assumed because they're a lower league team, they've never really been this high, have they? So I just maybe it was a stadium thing they had to make passable for the Serie A. I could be completely inventing that, but that's my guess, and I'm going to go with it. So they're a hard team to judge because they've only won 1 at home. They've only lost 1. They've drawn 2. Very difficult to gauge them as a home team. So, there could be more to it once we've seen more matches that, oh, yeah, they're actually really quite strong at home or not. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Fiorentina are the hot team of the league and a price of 2.4, which is definitely back in this.
Yes, I like it.
Moving on to another team, I also think is standout, and I can only imagine that this is the price because of the name that they're playing, and also they had that really bad home loss to Atalanta, and I'm talking about Napoli. Napoli are 1.8 versus Roma. Now I don't know if you looked at this one as well, Rob, but that seems a good price.
Maybe maybe you can verify that, but doesn't Roma has a new manager now?
Ooh.
I think they have Ranieri as a coach at the moment. I can look into that as you talk about the.
How is this? I don't know that. I have to say. Yeah, we need to look into that because that's an important part. And I don't like betting against teams. That's the first game of the manager. How long? How do you think this is his first match, or is just more recent than that?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be his first match.
Okay. So, well, look, what I'll do here then, I'm gonna change it I'm gonna change it from a pick to a lean then because that is against my own rules. I will tell you why statistically I like Napoli to win it, but that will all go out the window and I won't actually be backing it. So let me just explain there then. Look, Right, I mean, Roma have been in terrible form, so it's no surprise that I knew their manager had been sacked. I just didn't know Ranieri got the job, actually. I'll be completely honest. I didn't see it.
6 days ago.
So, okay, yeah, probably because I kind of been hibernating for the last week. So, yeah, that's probably why I didn't see it. I know, like I said, I knew that he'd been sacked, but I thought they were in interim manager stage, which I still kind of don't mind betting against. But first manager bounce, I don't like it. But apart from that, you have to say that Napoli are still a strong team. They've won all their matches except the one at home, which was that Atalanta spanking. Roma lost 4 of the last 5. They haven't won a match away from home. And statistically, between the two teams as well, Napoli unbeaten in the last 5 meetings at home. They've won 3 of them. Apart from that, they have a little stutter the last 2 games, but at the end of the day, it was against Atalanta and Inter they drew with. So, everything statistically is like, wow, Napoli 1.8. But now you've said that, I won't be putting this as an official pick. And I've actually got it on my student Acca, which I'm going to take off as well.
Wow, that's
So,
why I like that we just do one take us. Yeah, it's very good to keep it very transparent. And I know actually about your rule. So I knew I was gonna put you off this pick. But I think also for good reason. That
but that's
happens
that's
time and
that's
time
that's
again.
fine, and that's what we're here for. At the end of the day, like, there's no point like pretending something that it isn't. Like that. I've got my rules. That's one of the rules. So it's that simple for me. So I don't back it in the same way. So yeah, glad that you informed me. I would have found out closer to the time because I start going on to team news closer to the time as well, and I would have seen it in the kind of preview of it. So because we're pushing this out earlier and earlier, Rob, we're on Wednesday night. We normally do this Thursday morning. We're on Wednesday night. There's nothing to read anywhere else. I'm going a lot on statistics, so I didn't see it in the news, but that's good. It's good knowledge. And look, I'd still lean towards Napoli, even with Ranieri. I still think it's a strong price for Napoli at home. So, but yeah, I'm just not going to back it in the same way.
No, no, definitely not.
That
I have
is
something left. I have something to make up for it. I have
okay.
the Italian double, double
Yeah, the
trouble.
Italian double.
Again, a
Go for it.
double. And now I'm backing 2 away teams, but both teams are in good form and both are title contenders. I'm backing Atalanta to beat Parma Calcio away from home for 1.67. And you can combine that with Inter Milan beating Hellas Verona for 1.38. And if you combine the both of them, you can get it at 2.3.
2.3. Lovely. Okay, so I like that you put in a couple of official double picks this weekend because they're kind of coming out about the same sort of value. And this is I'll be honest, a lot of last season, it's the way I betted. I did a lot of doubles, lot of doubles, lot of doubles. At the start of this season, it wasn't quite working for me, so I went onto the single values instead. But yeah, you can't beat a good double around just over even money. I like it.
I like it as well. So looking forward.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to our quick fire round. We didn't do a quick fire round last week with international break. Again, for those listeners, for our first time listeners, we normally take game of the day on Saturday, game of the day Sunday, talk about it for 30 seconds each, and we put a predicted score line and anytime goal scorer. Little bit of fun this round. We do get some winners. We've had some big winners on this, but it's not one that we back heavy. Don't count it in our official units win or loss for the weekend, but we like to have a bit of fun. Couldn't actually pick a standout game on Sunday, so we've gone for 2 games on Saturday, Rob. We've got Man City versus Spurs and AC Milan versus Juventus.
Yes. Yeah. It's strange that no, not strange, but we couldn't find any good picks on Sunday. So it
Yeah,
made more sense.
Sunday was a bit of a letdown for standout fixtures. It has to be said.
Yeah, but for betting wise, we don't like the standout matches because they're normally quite hard to predict. But that's why we like to watch them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Saturday, there's a lot of good football on Saturday. You see some weekends, it's sometimes the Sunday's better, but This weekend, definitely I like Saturday, but yeah, no bigger or more interesting game than Man City versus Spurs. Who wants to go first on the spiel for this one?
You know what I'm gonna say.
You're going to defer it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going
Worked out
to
perfectly
no, I'm
last
going
time.
no, you're deferring it to my choice, so I'm going to give you first dibs at it. So I'm saying you go first. Man City versus Spurs. Are you ready? I'll count you in.
Okay, I'm ready.
Three, two, one, go.
Ooh, first time ever that they're experiencing four losses in a row, Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. So they're playing against also a team that's not convincing me at the moment at all. So I'm actually backing I'm backing a win for Manchester City, a 2-1 and Song Heung-min to score for 26.0.
Perfect. 2-1 City, Son to score. And what were the odds?
26.0.
6.0. I'm just making a note of this. I always forget to note your predictions on this round. So I'm just noting it just so I know when the gloat comes, when it's to be expected or not, because sometimes it is unexpected because I never made a note of it. I have to go with memory. So, okay. Do you want to get my notes? Yeah, count me in.
3, 2, 1, go.
This game for me has to have goals. They generally, I mean, as you said, City have lost four already. Spurs generally test City. It's a bit of their bogey team, so I could definitely see goals. Definitely both teams are scoring in this match. I think there's going to be something crazy here. There's been, big score lines in this match before. I think it's going to be a City win with Guardiola just agreeing to a new contract. 3-2. Solanke to score. 41.0.
Wow. You can have those couple seconds extra because the odds are that big.
Say that again.
You can have those couple seconds extra because you went over time.
Oh, yeah. Did I really? Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Bloody
fine.
hell.
That's fine.
Tough
I just have
crowd,
to make it
man.
work with the time clicking clock.
Tough crowd. By the way, don't speaking of Guardiola signing that contract, don't you think this guy, it's like I don't know if I'm like out of line here, but I feel like he's probably signed this just to try something to give him a kick up their arse to change the four losses in a row. Like he's a sort of crazy person that would do something you know, that erratic just to change the form. I don't know, man.
You have to help
I
me
thought he
here.
wasn't going to.
You have to help me here. Did he sign a new contract?
Yeah, well, the room, I don't think it's official, but all the respectables on socials, yeah, I think David Ornstein, Fabrizio have all said that he's agreed to an extension because
Of
his
course.
contract's running out at the end of this season, and they've all said at least 1 year extra.
He likes those Jedi mind games.
He does, man. I'm telling you, they've lost four in a row. They finally look like they're beaten, and he goes and puts pen to paper to give them all a kick up their ass. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him. Fucking
Okay,
nuts.
let's see how it works out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, should be a fun game that one. The other game, as we mentioned, is AC Milan versus Juve. So I suppose I will go first.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
There's not much between these sides in terms of form, league position, historic meetings. Very difficult for me to call this game. Neither team has been tested with their respective fixtures either in terms of Milan at home and Juve away. Milan have only played one team at home in the top eight, and that was a 2-0 loss to Napoli. Juve have only played one game away from home in the top eight. That was a 4-4 Inter. I don't think there's going to be many goals here. I'm going to go 1-0 away win. Juventus, Vlahovic to score 26.0. That was over again.
All right, fair enough. I like it.
1-0 Juve, Vlahovic, 26. That was
26.0. I'll have the same odds on
26.0.
the other match.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
You want to call me in?
Yeah, 1 second. I've lost myself. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I will make it a little bit easier for you guys. Because I'm going back to a pick that was successful before on the pod, definitely on this section. I'm going for the Italian classic nil-nil, and you can find it at 9.0. And that's it.
There's not much to say about nil-nil, is it really? So, yeah. Why is that being put up for 30 seconds? Yeah, basically, gonna be shit, nil-nil. Don't need to put a goal score up.
No,
Boom.
it's gonna be an Italian classic. Like if you see, I think the last meeting they had, it was also nil-nil. So
I'll be honest. I was very, very, very close to doing nil-nil myself.
it's
Very
it's
close.
never a bad pick. I think if you choose for all the Italian big games, the big clashes of like the like traditional top teams, and you put everyone a unit on nil-nil, you end up winning every season.
Yeah, probably. What was the odds, sorry, on the nil-nil?
9.0, and I think we
9 points.
already catch the one from Napoli against Juventus that was 8.5. So yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I just when I was doing the research on it, I was just like, can't see goals in this one. I just can't see goals. It's really hard. Like they were really, it's really like everything was the last 6 times they played was 2-2-2. Their form was almost identical. It was like really like, my God, you can't pick a winner. Nil-nil is probably the best shout, to be quite frank.
Yeah, so yeah, let's see
Okay.
if it works out.
Okay. So let's move on to our Acca section, and I think it's only fair to start with the Big Gun Acca. It doesn't deserve to come second in any stretch of the imagination. This is the hottest Acca this season. I don't think there's anyone out there calling them like this. This is ridiculous. I don't even know what the percentages are. I think we've lost two maybe all season, and we're doing this every single week. What have you got for us? I know I keep building it up for you, Rob, but you know.
Okay, I'm going for it again. I have another eightfold this time. So I'm just naming out the winners of those matches, and I'm doing it again in chronological order. So you can find on Friday Bayern Munich to win at home. Saturday Inter Milan, Bayern Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, PSV, and on Sunday Liverpool, Ajax, and Real Madrid. And you can combine those 8 picks for 6.48. And that's the Big Gun Acca for this week.
Okay. Now, last time with the student ACCA, we asked our audience, we didn't have real time this week to set that up. I went for something completely different this week, and actually, that hasn't worked out quite to plan because you picked some of them in your Big Gun ACCA. But yeah, my strategy this week was to say, because I saw your doubles, yeah, coming in. So I thought, I'm going to steal all your doubles and put them in the student ACCA, plus a couple more. So
Okay.
that's what I did. So I put in Inter, Atalanta, Atletico Real, Feyenoord, and Go Ahead Eagles as the 6 teams from the doubles that you did. And then I added two more, my favourite picks of the week. One of them was actually Napoli, hence why I've just taken it off. Okay. Um, but I also went draw or Aberdeen, which is really weird that you said that earlier. That's why I said I picked on it earlier when you mentioned that draw or Aberdeen. I actually did select that for the student ACCA just to be safe.
What is the
So
price
I've
on that
got
one?
yeah. So look, I'm gonna definitely keep that. I'm gonna take Napoli out. So this does bounce massively down from 21 down to 12.23, but it's now a sevenfold, and I'm still gonna go with it. Why not? We've got a bit of a mix there in terms of some of the big gun. What have you got in Big Gun Acca? You've got
That's
Atletico,
different. It's
Real.
definitely different.
Atletico and Real are the only and
And
Inter, so
Inter.
it's three. So it's only
Yeah.
three. So we'll go with it. So just again to read them again, I've got Inter, Atalanta, Atletico, Real, Feyenoord, Go Ahead Eagles, and Draw or Aberdeen at 12.23 live odds right now. 12.23. Okay, great. Accas are in. I'm sure something will win there. And that leaves us only with one place to go, Rob. It's bet of the week. You smash bet of the week. I feel like you always ask for a bonus point. I feel like that almost deserves it, that crease call last week. I have to say it. That was a really good call. I'm not giving you a bonus point. It makes us level. We're
Okay,
keeping a
okay.
running. We're keeping a running tally, guys. For those that haven't listened before, of our bet of the weeks, we have. I think that's six apiece now. I think we're either way. I've lost count of the numbers, but I know that we're level. So, bet of the week this week. What's it going to be?
I'm going back to my beloved second division. I think I found I'm picking no, I'm not picking the slightest. I think 1.6 makes the cut or doesn't.
Yeah, you're. By the way, you're 1.6, like my 1.5. I don't know. Like I told you, I don't know what they're smoking over in Netherlands with your bookies, but they ain't smoking the same as the shit that I'm
Okay,
getting.
I go the other
Uh,
one then. Now I'll pick Roda JC Kerkrade to win against Young FC Utrecht for even
Rhoda,
odds.
Rhoda, to the layman man, that's Rhoda, yeah,
Yeah,
Roda, Rhoda, even money. I'll let you have it. You know where I'm going. I'm going Aberdeen. Aberdeen have never let me down. Better than
I
even
knew it.
money. 2.3. Got to. Got to keep
Okay.
going.
You will get
So
a
that's
bonus point
nice.
if
So
they
we're
win
both
again.
even. Yeah, baby. We're both even or more. So, okay. Let the games commence.
Let's
Okay,
do
Rob, that's brought us to the end of the podcast. It's very late here in Spain on Wednesday evening, as it is for you over in Holland. It's the same time. It's very late for a school night, but we're here. We've done it. Where can people find us for those crazy people that don't follow us on socials?
Yeah, you can find us across almost every platform available at the moment. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We are mainly for our picks on X. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and maybe we're setting up a Blue Sky account. So
Blue
watch
Sky
that.
is apparently the place to be these days, so I hear.
Yeah, we're gonna try it out. You have to be there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so look, that's where we are. Keep an eye out. We will be putting on these picks, not all of them, most of them, some of them. We'll put on more. NFL will be coming in thick and fast. I'm on a crazy run on value picks in NFL, like mid 80s. I think I'm on percentage wise now. It's going really well. I will get them on socials. Keep an eye out for us. I'm super excited about this weekend. All the action. There's lots of it. Have a great weekend, guys. Ciao for now.
Happy betting.